Hundreds of protesters from both sides of the issue gathered outside of the Supreme Court.
The stakes could not be higher. Roe versus Wade is on the line as the justices consider a law from Mississippi that would ban almost all abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
After today's arguments over abortion, it appears abortion rights in America, as they stand right now, are in grave danger. After 2 hours of questioning, the general consensus among legal experts is that there are at least 5 votes to uphold Mississippi's ban on abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy, and possibly as many votes to overturn a federal right to an abortion altogether.
Oh, boy. Based on the oral arguments in the Supreme Court today, it looks very likely that Roe v. Wade will soon be overturned. And you know, when you think about it, it is wild. It's wild for the United States to take such a step backwards in women's rights. It's almost like the U.S. invaded Afghanistan to defeat the Taliban and then came back to the U.S. like, actually, those guys have some pretty good ideas. And now the truth is that this is the culmination of a 50-year plan for the conservative movement to reshape the courts for this very purpose. And say what you want about it, but you got to admit, man, the conservative movement is just that dedicated to protecting life. I mean, not protecting life from coronavirus or school shootings or from a lack of health care or climate change or poverty or homelessness or... And I know there are guys out there right now who are saying, well, you know what, tough luck, ladies, but this doesn't affect me. Well, first of all, you're going to see it affect your bank account when you're paying child support for 18 years. And secondly, you guys clearly don't see what's happening here. Yeah, because first they said a baby is only a baby when it comes out of the vagina. Then they said it's a baby when it's viable outside of the womb, right? Now you've got people arguing that if there's any electrical signal, it counts as a heartbeat. You realize what's coming up next, right? At some point, they're going to be like, okay, we decided that sperm is babies, so you can't jack off anymore. You're like, what? But what if I have a wet dream? Then your ass is going to jail. Yeah, now you're in your dreams trying to get your high school teacher to put her shirt back on. No, Mrs. Patterson, please, I can't do hard time. Please get dressed. I'm kidding, of course, I'm kidding. Obviously, nobody's ever going to regulate what men can do with their bodies. Calm down, everybody. Now, look, we don't know for sure what the ruling will be yet, and we won't find out until next year. But you can tell a lot about where the justices stand based on what kind of arguments they made. For example, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, Trump appointee and guy at the bar who insists he's totally fine to drive. Well, he emphasized the view that overturning the right to abortion would actually be the neutral position because it is neither pro-life nor pro-choice, but simply leaves the issue up to the states. And I have to admit, guys, that argument actually makes a lot of sense. Like, why should there be one abortion law for the entire country? I mean, people in Alabama and people in California have very different views on this, so maybe it should be different in different states. Although, when you think about it, there are also differences in different parts of each state. So really, the law should be like by county, you know what I mean? That would be better. They should say like red counties in a blue state can ban abortion, but blue counties in a red state can allow abortion. I mean, that seems fair, right? Yeah, it's up to the states, but make it up to the counties. Well, except actually sometimes you have urban and rural areas sharing a county, so maybe it should be at the level of the city or the town. Yeah, no, wait. What if each house, oh yes, each house could have its own rule. Yeah, this makes sense, right? Because the neighbors, they don't always agree with each other, but in the house, within the house, people have different opinions. You know what? What if each person made their own rule? Like each person could decide for themselves what they could do with their own. Shit, people, I figured it out. Yo, get me a taxi to the Supreme Court. You know what? Get me a taxi to the bar next to the Supreme Court. I want to tell Justice Kavanaugh something.